as it relates to horse health, what are the pros and cons of straw bedding? An unexpected question.
It is, and it's unexpectedly controversial.
Ooh,
You think straw bedding, it's just a substance. There's facts. Well, there's a lot of opinions
Okay.
too when it comes to what to bed horses with, because there's the straw that's very traditional. You see it in a lot of racetrack barns, brood mares. There's wood shavings, wood pellets, even sawdust. At my barn, we use flax. You can buy hemp. There's sand. You can bed horses on sand if you do it carefully. Peat moss is popular in some areas. So a lot of it has to do with availability, right? Cost, delivery, storage. The cleaning style and the utensils, the equipment you need is very different. The disposal, like some places you can spread it on fields, you can sell it in other places. Some places you can put in landfills. I mean, you compost it. So there's a lot of opinions and preferences. A lot of it comes down to preferences. There is some scientific facts and research about straw and some others. Some people think that straw is it can be very clean and dust-free. However, for the researchers who are studying airway disease, respiratory inflammation, when they want to challenge a horse and create the allergic signs, the coughing and the heavy breathing, so that they can then try a treatment, see if it works, they bed them on straw. So that says if you already have a horse that has a respiratory illness, straw maybe is not your choice. A lot of people have gone to the shredded paper or cardboard. That's very, very clean. You learn how to clean the stall, the wet and the dry with it, and then how to dispose of it. I will say, personal experience, because I have a horse with airway disease, I put the paper bedding in the trailer as my travel bedding, and that wasn't a good choice because it's very light. And it
so when
blows
the window's
away.
open,
Yeah.
I can only imagine what you looked at when you opened
It
the
was
door.
kind of a mess. So it's good in
Poor
the
Newman.
stall, and you might install even. You might have to just dampen it with like a watering can or a hose on mist or something. So there's the dust and the mold aspect, and that's a big one. The other is it's potentially edible for horses that might not be so picky and might be on a diet, and they're like, roughage, I'll just nibble on this. And you'd think on the one hand that's okay, it's just sort of filler, but it is so stemmy that it tends to cause impactions, and that's not something you want. So that's worrisome. And then it's not very absorbable. Straw is great for cushion and padding, but you have to bed super, super deep, and then you have to learn how to clean a super deep bedded stall. But still, the urine doesn't get absorbed by the straw. It travels down and is underneath it. So then if you have a nice mat or mattress, even of straw, they don't ever touch that urine, but you have to bed so deep for them not to get wet from it. So some people just can't deal with that issue of it in general, and they skip straw. But if it works for you, great. If it's not in your horse's best interest for medical reasons, there's lots of good alternatives.
Awesome. One thing I want to call out from your answer, because I know it's important to you personally, you mentioned that in some areas you can dispose of it by spreading it on a field. You never spread manure on a field that the horses go out in.
No, never a live graze field.
Yes, because that would be potential to spread parasites to those horses, because by spreading the manure, you're just spreading the parasites right where the horses are grazing, which is exactly what they want and not what we want.
Right.
So if you have like farming fields and you want to spread it as fertilizer, depending on your bedding source, that's great. Never for grazing.
Right.
I didn't want you
for bringing that up.
I didn't want you to watch it later and be like, what have I done?